We are going to have a absolute crazy week this week. Really, the very first week of January. CPI, PPI, jobless claims, all next. Yes, we're going to go over the Controversies letter. We go over every Monday about what all the milestones this week are. We're also going to go over NAR, National Association of Realtors. Yes, I'm part of it. Anyone that's a real estate agent has to be part of the National Association of Real Estate Agents. Unfortunately, it's been an embarrassment now for so long. And I'm so tired of them asking me for money. Everyone wants to just get rid of them. They have been a complete nightmare. We're going to go over that article and many more. All next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into it, if you are looking to sell or buy a home this year, do me a favor. Right down below, I have a guide, a buyer's guide and a seller's guide. They are free. Just go ahead, click the links, add your information in there, and we will shoot one over to you. Also, we also would like to have a little love here. So to get the rhythm going on here in YouTube land, go ahead and hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. Helps out the channel. Now let's go jump right into it. Controversies letter, key events for the week. It says 10-year note auction Wednesday. Now, a lot of people are like, whoa, what does this have to do with anything? Well, guess what? Interest rates for mortgages are really based somewhat around the 10-year yield, and that's what we're looking at. If that auction goes over well, meaning there's a lot of buyers of 10-year, well, then we're going to see that rate go down. If there's no buyers of 10-year, rate goes up. If you were to ask me, and this early prediction, I think that if people are feeling, or institutions are feeling, that the Fed is going to lower rates in the future, they want to lock in a more longer time, not a year, not 2 years. Let's go lock in a 4% interest rate for the next 10 years. That's great. That's better than they've had anywhere in the last decade or more. Well, then we're going to have a really good auction. If they feel that something out there is going to continue to keep inflation up and the Fed is not raising rates, people are not going to flight right into bonds. They would rather go into either short-term bonds, like a 1 year, 3 months, 6 months, 2 year. They don't want to go on long-term bonds. A lot of the institutions go into long-term bonds because they see that the future shows that the bond market or interest rates are going to shoot straight down. All right, what else do we have? Crude oil inventory is Wednesday. Thursday, CPI inflation, big day. Another Thursday, initial job claims. We're going to see a big, Thursday and Friday is going to be enormous. And then on Friday, PPI, and a total of 4 Fed member speakers this week. I mean, literally, I could care less. They all have their own agendas. They say their own things. And really, none of them ever ran a business. So all they're doing is predicting the stupidity of themselves. Well, let's jump into what we're really looking at today. National Association of Realtors president says she is resigning after blackmail threat. My God, how many? It's a disaster there. You need to start firing people. We don't need to have this stupid looking, idea that we are united and organized. We are not united and organized. Let's go over this. And her name is Tracy Casper. Says, and let me pull this up right here. There she is right there. I don't think she's been smiling because she hasn't been on the job long enough to smile. Tracy Casper is the president of the National Association of Realtors on Monday, said she's resigning after blackmail threat. Casper's predecessor as president, Kenny Parcel, resigned last summer after the New York Times published a story detailing claims he sexually harassed women he worked with. So we don't get to vote on this. I didn't vote on this. I mean, come on. Who are these bozos that are up there that we keep bringing in, and they keep becoming disasters? Every month, my dues that I pay to my local board, part of that dues goes up to the National Association of Realtors, and they have been a complete mess. So I digress. Let's keep reading. NAR CEO. So those are presidents, right? Now we're talking the NAR CEO, Bob Goldberg, resigned in November after a federal jury found the group and some residential real estate brokers liable for conspiracy to artificially inflate broker commissions for home sales. Is there a bigger cluster beep than I've ever seen sitting around here? with the National Association of Realtors, in the time which you need to have strong leadership, we have weak leadership. And everybody has their own agenda. We need a strong leader coming in there and literally ripping apart and reinventing the president of NAR. We don't need to have weak individuals that are being pushed around with agendas. Got to end now, guys. It's got to end. We need someone in there strong, and then we need to go attack all these frivolous lawsuits across the United States saying that we're rigging, commissions. How are we rigging commissions? I walk into I say this once, I say it 100 times. Every single time I've walked into somewhere, they want to sell their house. They typically have 3 or 4 or 5 agents, and they interview us. Some have 6% commissions, some have 4%, some have 5%. Not necessarily commission based that people make decisions on. They base it on whether they can get the most money for their house. That's all most people care about. What is the highest dollar can I net? It's not, you do a 2% commission, I'll go with you. That means they're not calling people back. They're not trying to get that price up. They're not trying to promote or market the property, nothing. So don't tell me it's all about, we all balked everyone and told everyone it's 6. Of the 1,000 homes, I'll say about, let's call it over 500 properties, which I've listed. I don't think that I've even have 3% that have been 6%. Everything has been in the 4s. Very fair, I feel. Sometimes I had to go to 2.5. Sometimes I've gone to 5. It all depends. It depends on how much money they want me to spend on marketing their house, their property. It also depends on, there's a lot of factors, I should say. But I digress. Let's jump into mortgage rates decline, pulls buyers back in the housing market. Oh my God, I'm seeing that like insanity. Showed a client last Saturday, went to 4 open houses. My God, all of them full of people. The first one I went to was at noon in Anaheim Hills. It opened at noon. It was only going to go on for 2 hours. I got to think that while my clients were there for about 20 minutes, there was anywhere from 8 to 10 other groups of people that showed up. We were driving, away. Cars were going down that street. It looked like it just was more and more. There is buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting for the opportunity to jump. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people felt like now's the time, even if rates are a little higher than what they expect in the next 60 days. Guess what? I don't want to compete against 7 or 8 offers, but that was all blown out of the water when we saw all 4 of these different open houses all throughout Orange County, including Sleepy Hollow. I cannot believe it. Sleepy Hollow is this little area I can't remember the name of the road, kind of eludes me now. It's between Orange County and Riverside County. It's a back road that goes into the 71 that you would have to know where to go, what to drive. It's kind of a little cut through, and there's several different communities back there. One Sleepy Hollow, of which these homes are nice. They're nice, but they're in like a very wooded area. So you don't have backyards. You just have the house, and then whatever land it sits on is usually not really usable land. That's exactly what I'm looking at. That open house had 2 people when we showed up. There's 2 groups of people there. We showed up with another group of people, and another group of people walked in while we were there. Guys, there was nowhere to park. So if anyone knows Sleepy Hollow, there's nowhere to park. You don't have traditional curbs here. It's asphalt is your road, and it's not good. It's very hard. You have to either park in the driveway, and if the driveway is full, God help you that you park on the side of the road, because you're literally on the side of the road in probably someone else's property. All right, let's go to Zero Hedge on X. This is a shocker for me. I have made it a point here for the past 12 months to tell people, do not get in credit card debt. It is not good. If the interest rates that the Fed is raising, it's usually going to be higher than credit card interest rates are higher. And I don't even know. I don't even want to hear how many people are making the minimum payments, which isn't even the minimum amount of money paid towards the interest. You're not even paying anything off. You're just simply paying partial interest. And that will only lead to nightmares, getting your credit card shut off, because you're now not becoming a good borrower. Let's go look at it. Zero hedge, consumer credit shocker. November debt soars after the second biggest surge in credit card debt on record. My Lord, let's take a look at this. This, my friends, is a complete nightmare. There's your number one right there. Is there like, here's your number two. Okay, we're talking about somewhere 12 months ago. Now we're talking about 12 months later. There's nothing good to say about this. We're going to see bankruptcies and credit defaults like no other coming up in 2024. I really believe, as much as, I think that a lot of interest can manipulate the stock market and can manipulate the interest market. But I think that, in all honesty, I think that humans, people, citizens of the United States are really going to go through hard times, regardless of what all the media is saying, how great everything is. They're not in that situation. And as we continue to get, population keeps growing, it's, jobs are not there. The job market, the jobs last week were atrociously bad, even though the media spins it good. We lost 1.2 or 1.5 million full-time jobs. Oh my God, that is like the worst. I mean, that was some of the worst. And we gained the highest amount of part-time jobs in the history of the actual data. All right, guys, where are we at with interest rates? It's been flat. I mean, the conventional basically 0.00, FHA 0.00. So we're just kind of flat. Last Friday, we did see a kind of a little bit of a meltdown here, which is good, from the 15-year, which I still say 15-year should be in the low fives. There's no way that you're going to go ahead and take a 15-year conforming at 5.93 and then go FHA at half a point longer for 30 more years. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Jumbo makes even worse sense. I don't even get where jumbo's at. Some states, jumbo isn't that big. Here in California, a lot of people doing jumbo loans, or what they'll end up doing is FHA or something around it, because these rates are way too high. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I know that Mondays are really tough. A lot going on. Everyone's getting back to work. This is kind of the first full work week, and I really feel that there's going to be a lot of things happening in 2024. I'm going to go over that this week. I don't foresee a lot. I foresee a lot of good and a lot of bad. But with that being said, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow.